Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure you press subscribe, and if you're coming back, thank you for coming. Now this video, as you can probably tell by the title, is about backhanded compliments, also problematic compliments and normalized problematic statements. So we're just going to be talking about stuff which are said in society to compliment people which are backhanded or problematic, and normalized statements which are very problematic. So let's just get into the video without me rambling on. The first phrase is people of color. I think that is a normalized problematic statement. I do not see anything right or anything acceptable in referring to people who are not white as people of color. It just shows that systematic racism is up and kicking today, and it's a constant reminder. Why do you put white people in one group and non-white people in another? You group them all together, black people, brown people, anyone who's non-white, and then white people are in their own category. Now, this is historically the reason why white people have decided to separate themselves from non-white people is because white people have thought they are superior. Hence why they've given themselves their own group, and then they've referred to everybody else as people of color. It literally sounds like back in the day, it was white people when they said that, and then when white people said people of color, they would see people of color as the others. So I don't see anything acceptable in still carrying that narrative in where white people are on their own, and then it's like, let's just group black people, brown people, everybody, and clump them all together and call them people of color. And I also obviously wanted to say that a lot of people do see the phrase people of color as an inclusive statement. Yes, it is inclusive to describe people who are non-white, but think about their history, their history of where the phrase people of color has come from, and why white people have always decided, let us be on our own category, because white people put themselves on such a pedestal that we're not on the same level. White people see themselves as not being on the same level as black, brown people, or anybody that is not their color. That's why I do not think the phrase people of color should be used, period. I don't see anything right in it. Now, a lot of people might think I'm reaching, but literally the observations I've just given you, it's not like I've plucked it from nowhere. This has been a reality, that when white people have referred to people who are not their color as people of color, it has always had negative connotations in the past. And now, using that as a normal statement, I just don't see why we should still continue to put white. Why don't you call us white and then black, brown individually, or just say non-white people, but it has to be people of color? No, I just don't think it's okay. The next phrase, which I think is a problematic compliment, is the phrase, you know, when someone has lost somebody or they're gone through a hard time and you say, be strong, or you were so strong. The issue I find with this statement is that society sees strong as a positive word, and we always associate not showing emotions with strength. Now, if somebody was not crying and not too upset about a situation, a lot of the times you will hear people say, oh, you were so strong, like, oh, be strong. And the issue is, when you start to say this, you are tying weakness with showing emotions indirectly, and that's why people want to bottle up their emotions, because they don't want to show that they're weak, and it causes a lot of problems like mental health issues. Like, and I know, trust me, that everybody who uses the phrase be strong or you are so strong is out of it comes from a good place. It's literally purely good intentions. Nobody says it for cynical reasons, because it's such a nobody says it for negative reasons, because it's such a normalized thing in society and we don't see what's wrong with it. But it is literally what I think, when you keep using that and you keep associating strength with not showing emotions, it's what creates, you know, mental health issues in society. And when the word strong has such positive connotations, it is what creates people to keep bottling up their emotions. Now, the next phrase, which is a normalized and problematic statement for me, is the word blacks, referring to a group of black people as blacks. Now, I want to ask you, like, why is this normalized? Why is it a normal thing to say, oh, the area for blacks, or we see, or what's it called? How do I say it? Blacks are like this, or why is it normalized? Do you ever say that I saw a black over there? Oh, I sat next to a black in my class. No, you would say I saw a black person over there, or I sat next to a black girl over there. So why, when it's a group of black people, why do you then just associate them with their color? Why do you then label them as blacks? Now, the issue with this is historically, when you have separated black people from their color and said blacks, and you're just labeling them by their color, it has always been a problem, and we have been viewed as subhuman. This is why I don't see why you cannot easily just call us black people. There's nothing okay in referring to black people purely by their color, because we are not just a color, we are people and we are humans. Because like I said, when you have labeled us just by our color, it has always been a problem to you. It has always been a problem, and it's always come from a nasty place historically, when you've labeled black people simply by their color. The next phrase is, you didn't need that surgery, you were beautiful before, when someone has done irreversible cosmetic surgery. Now, obviously, I can only look at it from an outside perspective, but I feel like that's not even a problematic compliment. It's a backhanded compliment. That's what it is. Because you're telling me now, what do you want me to do? The surgery is done and dusted. What do you want me to do? I've done it, and now you're telling me that I was beautiful before. Now, I feel like this can come from a place of pity, but it's also patronizing. What you're telling me is, you look beautiful before, but there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can change about it, but I'm just going to tell you. And when you tell somebody that, do you genuinely think that it makes somebody feel better? Because I'm so sorry, I don't see how you can. It makes them even feel 10 times worse, and I think it makes them feel 10 times worse and not one bit better about themselves, because it's like, oh, I can't do anything about it. Like, it literally does not do anything, and I don't think that statement or that phrase should ever be used, and it just comes across to me as a backhanded compliment. It's like, what am I meant to do with that information, please? What's the reason for you telling me this? What's the reason, bitch? But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. This phrase is manly. Now, this is an issue for me, and I've said it in so many videos, which I've released or I haven't released, I don't know. But calling someone manly as a compliment, what does the word man mean? Now, this is a problematic normalized statement and a problematic compliment, I think. Because when you see somebody who has the characteristics that you think are of a man, for example, I don't need to tell you straight up what, is expected of men today in society, but it's obvious that you guys would say probably strong, a provider. Some people might say tall, deep voice, or whatever it is. And then you'd say to the guy who has those characteristics that you think make a man, and you tell him, oh, you're so manly, to compliment him. But what does that mean? Is anybody who doesn't have the characteristics that you deem a man, are they less of a man? Because the word man literally just means a grown boy. The word man literally just means an adult with a penis in between their legs. So why now do you associate manliness with being a provider, manliness with being strong, with being tall, with having a deep voice, or whatever it may be? You can see why this statement is problematic, because it simply makes people feel less adequate, and it just doesn't make sense to compliment somebody calling them manly when you're not even talking about their genitalia. You're talking about social constructs. And now that's why you have to realize why some people can say gender is a social construct. What do you expect when you compliment someone and tell them they're manly or they're womanly or they're ladylike? You're never referring to their genitalia. You're referring to the way that they act within this society. Next phrase is exotic. I am talking about this from an outside perspective. I've never been called exotic before, and this is a tricky one because some people like being called exotic and some people don't like it. But obviously I'm here to talk about from the perspective of the people that don't like it. Now, exotic. What do you think of first when you hear the words exotic? Like when you Google exotic as well, what are the first examples that are given? Literally to describe a plant and an animal. Why would you describe a person the same way you describe a plant and an animal? That is fetishizing, that is dehumanizing, and that is what connotations can be brought about when you call somebody exotic. It just doesn't make sense. Another thing, you might Google exotic and say, oh, and it says something that's out of the ordinary. Now, that is, you need to start replacing the words that you use with synonyms, basically. Now, think about it like this. If someone came up to me and said, Joanne, you're quite out of the ordinary, I'd be like, bro, steady on, mate. I think you're taking the piss here.
So, let's not take the piss here.
Because that's not a compliment. You can't compliment somebody calling them out of the ordinary. What does that even mean? Can also mean that somebody is rare, which, I don't see you around often. So that's why you might compliment somebody by saying they're exotic, because it's like, I don't see you around often, you're special. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is the words exotic again mean foreign or distant. Now, replace the word exotic with foreign or distant. How can you come and compliment somebody with you're quite foreign or you're quite distant? What kind of compliment is that? How in any way is you referring to me as not being from around here a compliment? Because it really isn't. Like, it isn't. Bottom line, that's not a compliment at all. And my last phrase is, it's not you, it's me. I don't know in what way that is a compliment. I think that is a normalized problematic statement and a backhanded compliment. It's like, oh, sorry, it's not you, it's me.
It's like your brain doesn't work. You idiot. You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you.
What am I meant to do with that information? Sir, sorry, Captain Sherlock. We've already established that it's not me that's breaking up with you. You're breaking up with me. So why are you telling me, oh, it's not you, it's me?
Wow, that's so crazy. Wow.
Yes, what you're basically telling me, in other words, is, oh, Joanne, it's not you that doesn't like me, it's me that doesn't like you. Oh, Joanne, I don't like you because I'm too fussy or I'm so picky, but don't worry, it's me who doesn't like you. That is what you are basically saying. Because deep it, what else? Why else would you use that? I just feel like it's a way to beat around the bush. You don't want to get straight to the point. You want yourself to probably, or you want me to feel better. Like, you're sparing my feelings when saying that. But at the end of the day, you're still delivering the same message that you don't want anything to do with me. It can also show your refusal to change. You can say, oh, I've got a lot going on, so I'm going to break up with you. But it's not you, it's me. Yeah, it's you that is refusing to change for me. It's you that is refusing to put me into your schedule. Just tell me that you've got stuff going on and you don't want anything to do with me. Don't try and sugarcoat it and make it look all flouncy to make me feel better. Because at the end of the day, you telling me it's not you, it's me, personally, you've still broken up with me. You still left me. You still don't want to see me ever again, for example. So, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here, Captain Sherlock? Well, that's it from me. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And if you want a part 2, make sure to let me know in the comments as well. Bye.